Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Warning Signs That Your Bank May Close. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure you click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we post a new episode. I'd also like to tell you about HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a great service that allows you to purchase live calls from your favorite celebrities, so check them out. It's something you can buy for yourself or as a gift for somebody you love. Give it a try. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now, let's get started. In 1929, during the Great Depression, 659 banks closed their doors. By 1932, another 5,102 banks went out of business. Families were financially wiped out in less than a day when these banks closed and made all their money disappear. Many of these people lost everything and ended up on the breadlines just to eat, just to survive. In March of 1933, all banking transactions were stopped or suspended for an entire week. Once again, there were very few people who saw this coming. Very little seen by too many people. The question becomes, if such a circumstance were to arrive today, how many people would know that it was going to happen, and how could they protect themselves from this phenomena? Well, to fully understand that question and to prepare for that possibility, you have to know something about our history. All throughout American history, the world of organized crime has always been ahead of the rest of the economy when it came to adopting the latest innovative technologies and tactics for wealth protection and income generation, and quite frankly, for stealing other people's money. During the Great Depression, the criminal world was the first to adopt the use of cars with V8 engines because they could outrun the police cars, which only had V6 engines. There were a lot of very famous bank robbers back in the day who were able to use this same technique to outrun local law enforcement. The problem with local and state law enforcement was, especially during the Depression, that they were on very limited budgets, and when they had an older police car, they had to drive that car until it literally collapsed from usage and from old age. So they could not really afford the latest technology, like a V8 engine, for example. Now, when the telephone was developed, the mob was the first to use it to run nationwide sports booking and gambling operations that everyone across the country could use to place their bets with. When the internet was developed, it was the hacking world that learned how to steal people's financial identities, titles to their homes, and countless other scams designed to separate people from their money, from their assets, and from their identities. When the VHS and Betamax video recorders and players were invented, once again, it was the world of organized crime that figured out how to make billions of dollars disappear with this technology. They also used it to generate billions of dollars in new revenue. How did they do that? They started selling porno tapes on VHS and Betamax. Now, when the banks invented ATMs, it was once again the world of crime that figured out how to steal money from them. Now, when the world of cryptocurrencies were developed, it was the criminal world which started using Bitcoin and then Monero, another form of cryptocurrency, to untraceably steal people's money with ransomware attacks. So, how is any of this going to help you protect your money from the next financial collapse, from the next mass wave of bank closures? Our research is showing us once again that the criminal world is leading the way in their anticipation of another major economic problem. They see what's coming. And so what are the criminals around the world doing? They're using the latest technology and business models, cryptocurrency, and other strategies to prevent themselves and their wealth from being wiped out. In fact, Both mainstream investors and the criminal underworld are now preparing for exactly that eventuality, and that is mass wealth confiscation. People already see various states working on insane new wealth taxes designed to grab the money and the wealth that people have already paid taxes on previously. So to prevent that, a lot of individuals are moving their wealth into gold, into crypto, and into silver. They're also moving a lot of their wealth into the real estate sector. The growing fear is that the government and the banks will simply close and grab a lot of people's money in the process, like they did during the Great Depression. In preparation for that, a lot of people have already started moving their money into Bitcoin. But recently, some organizations have claimed that they have the ability to track and locate Bitcoin and its owners. So now the criminal world is shifting their wealth to a new cryptocurrency called Monera. This is a cryptocurrency that is supposedly impossible to track or identify the people behind the transactions using them. They claim it has a much higher level of security than Bitcoin ever did. But if you remember, they used to say that same nonsense about Bitcoin back in the day. So who knows if Monera is as secure and private as they claim it is. Other than hiding your money in cryptos, how can you tell when the banks may close? Well, sometimes there are signs that you can look for. For example, there's an annual list of reports now that you can see online that detail the most and the least secure banks in the world. If you read it, you'll notice that none of the major U.S. banks are on this list when it comes to most secure banks. One bank in North America, a bank called TD Bank, which is a Canadian bank that has a lot of branches in the United States, is the only one that ranks highly for its security as a safe bank to place your money in. Something you may want to research further. Another warning sign is the explosion in the number of companies that have filed for bankruptcy or may soon do so. Now, in an effort to help people, the government is printing trillions of dollars and distributing it to everyone in need. But in the process, they've triggered a level of inflation that hasn't been seen in decades. So you bought a pound of meat for $5 last year. This year, that same pound of meat may cost you $6 or $7. That's what inflation is. And by the way, inflation is just another way of stealing wealth from you. People are watching this, and they're converting some of their wealth into gold or silver and real estate at an accelerated pace because they're just trying to protect themselves. You know who else is doing this? The hedge funds, insurance companies, banks and institutions, sovereign funds. Sovereign funds are large national funds which invest to try to raise money for their countries. What else is the criminal world doing to protect their wealth from the collapse they all fear is coming? Well, many criminal organizations are buying up businesses that are losing money. That's right. Everybody else is looking for businesses that are making money. The criminal world and some hedge funds on Wall Street are now buying businesses that are losing money. Now, normally there is no rush to buy money-losing businesses, but the crime world doesn't care about that. What they're looking for is acquiring more businesses that they can launder money through. So what other signs can people watch for to see if the banks will be entering a problematic phase which may cause them to close? A lot of people are seeing some of their existing banks randomly close some of their locations, supposedly on a temporary basis. Sometimes they shut them down for a couple of days. Sometimes they shut them down for a couple of weeks or months. The banks will close a location for a while and then tell people to go to another one of their locations or use an ATM. But ATMs limit your daily withdrawals, so that's another potential problem. All the experts and historians give us the same advice. Don't put all your wealth in the bank. Diversify some of it into other asset categories, other places to hide it, and most importantly, Listen to all the lies the media is telling you. The more reports you see from media organizations telling you about the great strength of the current banking system and how it's passing all the stress tests the government is giving the banking systems, the more you should worry and believe that the opposite is just true. Thank you for watching. And I want to tell you that we're going to have more great celebrity interviews and more breaking news stories coming up in the future. So we encourage you to subscribe to our free channel and click on the notification bell so you can get notified every time we post a new story. Thanks for watching, and we shall see you soon. Bye-bye.